What?
You're awful quiet.
We're up.
I'm just plotting and scheming.
Okay. Evening, everyone.
Who's?
I'd like to call the meeting to
Go,
order.
baby.
Appreciate everyone joining us on this Friday. It shouldn't be too lengthy. If you would, join me for the invocation and pledge. Teresa, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Sure. Father, we come before in the name of Jesus, and Lord, we just thank you and praise you for this evening, and we thank you and praise you for the citizens that came out. And Father God, I just pray that your blessing will be upon the work that we need to do, and that you'll lead and guide, and that you'll just direct us and help us to do what's best for the town and prosper us. And we just want to give you all the honor and the glory and the praise for it all. In Jesus' name, amen.
Michael, lead us in pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No, the sound's not on.
Oh,
We don't have our mics on.
I got you.
We're good now, Jared?
Yeah.
We're good now.
Good deal. Oh, gosh. Okay, let the record reflect that we have full council with the exception of Councilperson Skeens and Councilperson Bass. They're both tied up with other commitments this evening. Would like to welcome back our recorder, B.J. Fontalbert. Nice to have you aboard.
I was here just virtually.
You were here in spirit and on the phone.
But it's good to
But we
have
are
you in
glad,
person.
that's right, we're glad to have you back. Anyhow, we'd like to address the new business items on the agenda, the first being the Packer truck discussion. Been working on this for quite some time, doing some investigations and different matters as to, what we can use. I've been working with Jason, Street Department, and various vendors to determine, exactly what we really need for our, to meet our load, in the town and take care of the garbage that we have most efficiently and effectively. So what you have before you are three quotes that we've been able to put together, and a couple of things that have made it difficult is, I guess, it's a general practice with something of this nature for one entity to be responsible for a geographic area in the U.S. And so it's difficult to have exactly apples to apples because others from without the immediate geographic area, they can't sell into West Virginia necessarily. So what I did put together was maybe an apples and oranges type of deal to give you an idea of what three different makes of Packer truck would run with as close as I could get on the specs. So we do have three here. We have one from the first one from West Virginia Tractor Company. We have a second from TLG Peterbilt Truck Sales, and a third from Empire Truck Sales. We do have one vendor, the only one in West Virginia to respond to my inquiries. Mike Gandy, he's here today from West Virginia Tractor Company, and he is present to answer any questions you might have. And with your permission, I'd like for him to summarize his position and what he's offering us, if that would be okay. Mike, if you would step up to the, hopefully that'll work.
Grady.
Oh, yeah, Mike Grady, I'm sorry about
That's
that.
why I got confused.
No, it may be on the bottom, yeah, there's a button on the bottom of the mic. It may be dead. Okay,
I can speak loud enough.
Okay.
okay,
So, long story short, I am Mike Grady with West Virginia
unfortunately, because of steel prices, which since November, steel has gone up almost 200%.
Wow.
Not only has the cost of steel become an issue, you know, but also the availability of it. You can order 500 sheets of a certain kind of steel, and they may send you 20. And that's what the industry is coming up against right now. So it's very difficult to get trucks because of also, you know, the chip issue and all the things that go along with that. Every aspect of that truck has some kind of sensor or something in it. They all require chips. It's not like, you know, you only need one chip for their possibly thousands. So the chip deal is another deal. So we've gotten to the point where it's very difficult to get a chassis. It's extremely difficult to get a chassis that is designed for garbage truck. And that's a key component to what I am providing. I'm providing a truck that is specifically designed to do the task that we are requesting of. I have a body that is currently sitting on the ground. It's ready to be mounted on its chassis. The unfortunate aspect of it was they kind of knew this was all coming. Well, they don't know what Huntington wants or Marmette wants or this or that, or, and to be honest with you, this is not just West Virginia, this is obviously nationwide. So that truck was ordered with a bunch of hydraulic extras on it, so it's got a bunch of extra valves on it. There's no way to take those off. But each item that hydraulic thing controls, I can remove those to reduce some of the cost. But I'm still having to swallow that cost of all that hydraulic. But there are some key aspects that I go for whenever I do a body for a town or anyone. One of those key components is I always put more metal in the body. Because that body sits, trash sits in it, there's a lot of acids and bases, and anytime you get out of the realm of water, you know, you can go negative or positive, but anytime you get out of that, you're going to have a corrosive aspect on that metal. And that metal's the only thing that's holding it together. So I like to add metal because I know, especially in your all circumstances, that trash could sit in there 2 days. It could sit in there over the week. It could sit there for a week, possibly, given the right circumstances. There's a storm or whatever. All that time, it's eating at that metal. So my number one concern is not 5 years down the road, not 10 years, 15 years down the road. What you're dealing with right now, that beach garbage packer control got Charleston. I sold that 20 years ago. And I mean, so those are the kind of trucks that, you know, unfortunately from time to time, I have to sell something lighter body. I had to go someplace to get something because they had to have something. So, long story short, the body I found that I bid to you all is the kind of body that I would. It has a lot more material in the hopper. It has a lot more material in the floor, and it's got material in the sides. Instead of going with 3/16 or a quarter, I got 3/8 in the floor. I got quarter all down the sides and along. So my intentions when I sell a truck is to have something last time. There are some cities that they have a 7-year buy plan, but they're working their trucks every single day. They go to landfill every day. I mean, they have a different situation. Well, that's not the average city. The average city has to have it. So that's why I like to go with the body. Not only a heavier body, but inside of the body, a lot of manufacturers will just stitch weld. They do a full weld on the outside, it looks nice and pretty, but on the inside they stitch weld. So where those two metals are together, but there's nothing to keep material from going down in there, those fluids get in there, starts rusting in there, and the next thing you know, your panel's popping out. So this unit also is fully welded.
Inside and out.
Inside and out, which was a key component. If I have that available, that's what I'm bidding, period. I'm not going to bid something else unless it's, you know, dire straits, hey, we gotta have garbage, and nitro has been in that boat. Their truck breakdown, they had to have another one. In the meantime, they had another truck, like, hey, we need something in 3 days. not one. There again, you all, on the other hand, I found something back, what I would want to bid, minus it has a bunch of extra. So, long story short, bodies have gone up about 12 grand, just because of that alone. Then the truck chassis, their dealers aren't even swapping like a dealer in North Carolina may have a truck that a dealer in West Virginia wants. They'll swap something. You know, they'll send a dump truck down there and they'll send a spare chassis. They're not doing it right now. They know every chassis that hits the ground they can sell. They are not getting any municipal discounts for any. So that raises the price too. Normally you get 6 or 7 grand of municipal discount on the chassis. You get another 4 grand of discount on the body. Unfortunately, I just, right at this time, not even. So, my price was $160,000. That is the most expensive price ever did to anybody, ever. But unfortunately, going back to me, West Virginia tractor, that whole situation. Anything that I sell to you, that's my truck forever. Truck you all have right now, that's my truck. Even though I didn't sell it to you, I deem that my responsibility. I'm a sales guy, but I'm not a sales. I'm a servant. That's how I get customers. If there's an issue with it, I go fix it. Today, I was at Louisiana, got paper. Their machine was half old. If I can handle it, that's gonna be free. If it's fitting or something like that, hey, yeah, $8. But service, that's forever. Very common deal with brand new garbage pack. If it wears in, your pressures will change slightly, because the panel has less resistance. All the wear patches. I'll come in and I'll do another adjustment so that you're getting accurate. That's something that, you know, an out-of-state vendor cannot provide. Good. So that's basically my spiel. I don't want it to sound like a spiel. I don't want to sound like a sales guy. I want to be confident that if there's an issue like Brady's. You don't even have to worry about West Virginia Tractor because they're going to be there behind you. It's my name. I give my card, my cell phone, 24/7. I only turn it off, turn down the volume. Otherwise, I have customers, sweeper, DEP's on top of them, can't start it, 1:30 in the morning. I hate to call you. I'm there. You know? That's my job. That's how, you know, I build customers. You have any questions? Please don't.
Thank you.
Well, I just wanted to say too, I mean, I was excited, I'll be the first to admit, you know, I found a Packer truck that was substantially less from another vendor, but it had the thinner sheet metal in it. So, you know, I think, and after more research, you know, I came to realize, especially with the town, I mean, Jason and I talked about this, you know, our plans would involve some long-term planning. So, you know, if we can keep this truck, the new truck, 15 years and plan ahead for 15 years, we should be able to purchase another one at that time. And in order to do that, you know, I think we need that span of time. If we bought one that would last 6, 7 years, I don't think we can, it's hard to set aside that amount of money over that period of time to take care of everything that we need, police and street department. So we need to plan for the best product, I guess, that we can get, you know, and I mean, my research did prove that out. Rather than to save, you know, $20,000, we would really, I think, forfeit quite a bit. If you look at the time value of money, you know, for another 7 years, we could earn probably more interest than 20,000 over a 7 year period with what we're accumulating in our long-term planning fund. So I think it's wise, you know, to look at the heavier duty trucks And I think Mike would be the first to admit that I gave him quite a hard time going back and forth with the specs. You know, I wanted to get apples to apples as much as I could, and you know, I wasn't easy on him by any means. So um, we finally arrived at this one, which I think fits the bill and is comparable with the other two. And you know, after your questions, I'll announce the other two bids, and we can discuss the pros and cons of each. If
I neglected one thing too. Also, Bill, I've been paper for freight on chest. Everything's the same. I don't care who it is, they put the same rear end in them, they put the same style of suspension, compression, they put the same transmission. The one thing that varies and makes engine. This particular one has a Cummins engine. You have two choices there for Cummins. You go straight to the dealer, or you got a Cummins dealer in Cross Lane. So you have both of those options. Cummins owns about 70% of the market. It's a big deal because that means there's R&D to their emission stuff. Emission stuff is what is shutting trucks down. Trucks aren't breaking down. Oh, we lost, broke the crankers. It's emissions shutting trucks down. That's a key component to any purchase that you make now, because they're talking 1935. They want everything to be electric, especially the big diesel trucks. So
Right.
you want to make sure that you have a manufacturer that still building product, number one. But number two, you have that vast majority of parts to go to 10 or 15 years down the road, so get parts to fix that particular vehicle. Because legally, they only have to be 10 years. After 10 years, they can give up. And they are pushing manufacturers very hard right now to start switching over to electric. And manufacturing, they've already changed. They all went to already changed the battery in it 3 times. That's $400,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for the chassis, that's no body. That's what they will be pushing starting 25. It's,
Hopefully it'll get
you really
more.
want to make sure that you pick a package that offers you the biggest opportunity to get parts later on. It's going to be a key component. And like International now, they used to have their own engine, they're taking Cummins on. Hino got shut down for emission stuff. They didn't build any trucks this year. They're hoping to go back into production in October. Of course, they're up at Mineral Wells, West Virginia, and they're shut down. And the only way they're going back is if Cummins. The only way that they can do so. So Cummins is best case scenario. They have the most money. Have the most reason. I didn't mention that. It's really a pretty big deal, especially because you're looking.
council have any questions for Mike before we?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, I knew that.
No, that's-
No, it's a real question.
But,
When they're out working in 100-degree weather.
Another option that was on this truck, and you wouldn't think too much about it, but I have air controls inside. So when they go to landfill, they can pull, or push a handle, and the tailgate opens all by itself. And then they can push the load out. So that guy isn't getting out, walking in all that trash juice and everything, and dragging it right back into the cab, because it's on his shoes and his hand. So that helps take care of the cab as well.
Not only that, I want to say something about that. When you go to the dump, you got two pieces of equipment. You back up in there and empty. You got two major, these guys can't see you.
Right.
These guys are up 15 foot in the air.
In
They're parked
contact.
right beside of you to push your trash to the dump, and they're within feet of you. So when I seen the hand controls, the back end controls,
was in the bid, that was one of those extras that came with that body that we found on the ground.
Okay.
And I got lucky, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was more than I want. They told me the price of it. And there's already, we've been down this like the mayor talked, I've given him several prices. This truck is actually the last, and I called it verified today. Actually, I put a hole, the only way to be. The Kenworth, there's a Kenworth, still there, it's like $5. It's still there because they sell it expensive trucks back. But I've had to find a body someplace, I had to find a chassis. When that chassis arrives, it arrives down. You just shuffling. It's unlike, generally, I just call my local dealer and say, I need this truck, order it for me, it comes in, I send it directly to my factory mounts it, comes to me, whenever it comes. Right now, we're an international October, that month ago, told me just trucks February for City of Charleston, 2 trucks, garbage trucks. Said those trucks will be in October. They're now telling me that they're going to be, I would not be surprised. I've talked to them, I was like, I hate this. And I feel bad for the city. By next year, there'll be nothing. They've already told them that production, all their vehicles, for 5 trucks, we may be able to offer some. Well, that, they sold 40. They're, and my manufacturer's worried about, hey, we're going to sit idle for a lot of time. Their lot, they usually have 200 to 250 trucks in their lot. They have like 25.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well,
It's a valid
yes,
question.
Well,
yes, you could, unfortunately, you're working on 21.
yeah.
And in all honesty, the best option you all have for that is to put it on GovBids or something like that. Sell it as is. That way, you don't have any issue with something coming back because all those trucks sell as is.
Yeah.
And right now, believe it or not, that thing is liable to sell because it's a non-emissions truck, which means it does not have SRC, the burner, to lower emission, and it doesn't have that, which is, guys are eating it up. Some private guy will come in and buy it, he may only pay you $7,000 for it, but $7,000. So
True.
that is a definite option. I've been surprised before. I've seen Charleston put one of those paint trucks, paints the lines on the street. I was gonna bid on it. Nothing wrong. It went up to $40,000. This thing was 15 years old. It ended up selling for like $78,000. So
Wow.
you find a paving company that wants something like that. You find a guy that is very hands-on. He has no problem with an older truck. He can rebuild. He can throw 10, 15 grand at it. He can be working, he can be working in a month for a third of what a new truck would be. He's fine.
Okay.
No,
These are the type of guys that don't have all the safety measures.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
And that was gonna be my conversation. And I'm gonna say this very bluntly. I'm taking that truck out. Just say something happens in front of me, I gotta stop. That truck, at the age it is, and this could happen to any truck really. Rupture an airline or rupture an airline's the worst thing I'm doing anyway, because then you, and if there's a road or something like that, I'm not saying it can't happen in a newer truck, but what he's saying, those people that buy those trucks and put $15,000-$20,000 in it, they're the ones that's gonna run out here and careless, they run over a street corner, in a car, back over somebody's fence, I mean, it's, because you really put safety aside anyway.
They have $1 million policy, that's how they look at it. You have a responsibility to your citizens. And, no offense, but your truck is an EV disaster right there.
Well, me and the mayor's gonna talk about that, about everything that's going on right now.
With all that oil that is dropping on the ground, I mean,
It's already been
if the
discussed.
DEP ran up on you, they,
Oh, yeah, we know it.
That's why it's,
Yeah,
Can you-
that government website, that might be an option.
Yeah.
I can.
Because somebody may want it for parts.
Yeah, City of Charleston, they do it, everything that they get rid of is goes on their business. And it's, some things go for astronomical prices, some things go for nothing. But right now, a non-emission truck, they bring money no matter what.
but that was what I was gonna say too, that truck we got, there's nothing wrong with the truck itself as a running condition. Box on the back with like trash. Floors rusted out of it, sides rusted out of it, bottoms rusted out of it. The hopper's done been rebuilt twice. And in Mike's case, I do have to give him kudos, when I started 4 years ago, we couldn't find a turnbuckle. This is when I first started, I didn't know he was our contact. I went to 5 or 6 different places, I went to the bus, and I didn't know which tractor, I was tractor, I didn't know it was tractor trailer.
That was how it started, so,
And
it's changed.
I called down there, and he's the first man I talked to, and he says, I got one hanging up here, come get it. That was 4 years ago, and after that, every time I've called him, he's always got me parts for my truck. And when he said that that's his truck, I hate to say it, but he's always been there.
You hate to say it, that's
good.
good.
But
That's I
I know
hate to
is-
think you.
What's bad is you got all these other vendors out there that just say, I can't do it, I can't do
Yeah.
it. When I text him on the phone, give me a couple days, he's calling me back. And that's like when all this started. I had a lot of questions, and I even told the mayor, I went to a couple other municipalities looking at things. I didn't pay no attention to the metal strength of it, the thickness. And I really didn't pay attention to the welds been on the outside, not in the inside. So I went around looking at the cheaper trucks. I don't think you say $10,000 less, let's see, cheap. I went around looking at a cheaper truck and seen 5 years down the road, that truck was 5 years old, split. It was rusted, the welds were busted. Things I've seen on that truck, I thought that truck was 12 years old. No, it's not even 3 years old. I heard that a couple. And then one of the heavier trucks that I seen, the 20-yard box, it came from his. And it practically, weld-wise, it was only 2 years old. And the other one was just like ours. Got years in the box. It's just now starting to fall apart. So that ought to tell you what kind of the service. I don't care one bit. I work for Marvette. I'm a public servant. I'll drive that truck to Wisconsin, if I do it, work for Marvette. That's no worry at all. But when we got somebody sitting across, it's all, something.
Hurricane.
No,
Hurricane.
no,
No, I'm in trouble.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you said hurricane.
no, I'm in trouble.
Oh, well, fine then.
Well, I think it's down there in Frank County, but,
I'm old West Virginia, actually.
I got you.
but yeah, I was looking for the service thing to it. And Cummins engine, back to that, the Volvo we got, it's got 203,000 miles on it, and it's a Cummins. So, the other motors that I was worried about, I've been doing a lot of, looking into those two, and they're having a lot of emissions problems. They just, I don't know if they haven't got it figured out yet, or they're working on it, or I just haven't seen a whole lot of goods for it.
The unfortunate thing is, if the truck thinks the depth is not there, it has to shut down, it has no choice, that's a tow bill, that's $800 minimum. Cause they won't come out and reset it, it has to go, stuff come apart, stuff get cleaned, stuff go back together. I mean, people don't all trucks, there's no debt, it's shut down. I've had my trucks, had rental suites.
Council have any other questions for Mike before we look at the others, or?
Is this the same style of truck that the town was working with you with earlier in the year?
Yeah, very similar. I had an in-stock truck, and unfortunately it sold. It was that number that we all would expect. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever done.
This thing's took off later on down the road, once that thing starts settling down, it always happens.
Yeah.
That's all the plumbing
Oh,
is
that's
there.
true.
Everything's there, so all I have to do is put a reading cylinder and a pulley assembly on there. It's $7,500.
If that's something that the city runs into, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why we, in the mayor was
They'd have to
talking
use
about
trash
just
cans.
removing that part, because we don't pick up the big containers, well, the big green boxes that you see out here. We don't
Waste
have-
management, yeah.
Yeah, we don't mess with.
Oh, I thought it was like the little ones.
Well, that part's taken off. We don't do that.
That might
it
be a
would
way
be
to
awesome.
actually get people to put trash in their trash
It
cans.
would, it really would. Hey, that's something.
Well, with the
Yeah.
dipper, obviously we put a dipper on there. Unfortunately, you have to have a specific style.
Yeah, they'd have to buy them from the city.
Yeah, yeah. And that's another thing that we can offer.
That'd be
You know,
nice.
we have manufacturers that they have a 12-year bumper to bumper warranty. You run over it, mash it, okay, you get it. And it'll come with a serial number on it, dedicate it to a certain household. And, I mean, things have really gotten sophisticated in the last
Yeah.
few years.
My in-laws down, they have a place in Manio, North Carolina, and we have
Oh, yeah.
a trash can that's strictly for them, and it
And
has
they
the,
probably pick it up with one of those machines that has an arm that comes out and it literally dumps that, yeah, automated sideways.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're in West Virginia, and have lots of creeks, things like that, and you can't roll their can right down the curb. So, Small City would be a great place to have,
We had them in Tate Valley.
yeah, exactly,
Tate Valley's
yeah. Those are the only three automated. And we, prior to them, it's Cummins Disposal. Cummins Disposal, we sold them this truck.
It's our next project.
what's the air one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any other
yeah, we
questions
know
for
it's
Mike?
not to.
Now, I was gonna ask availability, but it says it right here, September.
Yeah.
Wait for the test to show up, and it's directed there now.
I was looking at our comparisons and with the one that this one is still even within that 5% threshold and, for all the service and everything, it's definitely worth it and justifiable even with our purchasing policy.
It's you're a West Virginia company, and you're right down the road for service. All right.
Yeah, the others
It's a no-brainer to me.
we had TLG
either.
Peterbilt truck sales. I think
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
That's what I sent you.
Okay, 155,000 for that unit. It was a 20-yard unit as well. And then the third one was Empire Truck Sales. Are they Indiana?
I think that's what it says.
I think so.
Yeah,
Richland,
Yeah.
Missouri,
Yeah,
Mississippi.
MS is, Missouri.
Mississippi.
Yeah, the other one, the one we.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were 168,706 for a Freightliner actually. So it's a pretty much apples to apples.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it may have the revving cylinder. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell from this, but even at that, it would, if it's 7,500, it would still be very comparable
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
mine. But
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, to have a West Virginia company and, you know, and it's within that 5% threshold, so.
Yeah,
And
and
for all the sale, you know, with all the service after the sale.
what type of warranty is on
So
the truck?
that truck has, the body has a 1-year warranty. But the cylinders have 2-year warranty. Like I say, you know, I went and worked on the truck today. Well, I didn't. I can resolve the issue, whatever materials I have to purchase, I'll pass that on. But my time is free.
Yeah.
And I've got trucks out there that essentially, you know, there's a relay that everything jumps power to the body. Well, if that relay were to get overly hot or overused or something, that it burns up. I went to Napa, I bought a relay, it was not what my manufacturer used, but I could go to Napa. I went to Napa and bought it, gave them a bill for $22, truck's up and running. And that was for repair. So all my time driving, fuel free. That's
Okay.
my expectation of myself. There's a day where I'm not that's not West Virginia.
Okay.
My dad will eventually replace it. Whoever my replacement is, we're gonna have the same policies.
What's the warranty on the tractor?
On the truck itself is generally some warranty that's like 250,000 miles, blah, blah. You'll never get there. You'll never burn that warranty. That, but it does in terms of a time. Generally, the standard warranty is like 2 years, 250. So 2 years is that time. Unfortunately, things like towing, all that, those are extra warranties that you can purchase.
What about the emissions part you were talking about?
You can have an emissions warranty too. I highly recommend you get that. It's usually like anywhere from $750 to $1,000. And if any emissions warranty issues, they pay for it. If you were to have SRC canister go bad, it's $4,000.
Yeah, what he's talking about SRC, the canister is the exhaust itself heats up. When this truck goes into regen, these are all diesel. But when it goes into regen, it heats up the exhaust and burns it out. Those things get greatly expensive, crazy. And a warranty is said would cover that up to, but it's $1,000. I'll tell you this, the Ford F-550 we had that we traded in for cash, that was the issue. Every time we put one on it, it would never run enough to where it was burning itself clean. It would constantly just stop up.
And that's a key issue with the garbage truck. The garbage truck runs up to a stop, sits there and out. It runs up to the next stop, sits there and out. Stop and go. Those trucks, those emissions are designed to get on the interstate and go 100 miles. So it does everything itself. These trucks don't. And honestly, they just don't care. We have enough time and money invested in it. It works for 80% of our product line, so, you know, it is what it is.
But you got, just like the F-550 Cummings is on, and I hate to say, Ford just don't have it figured out yet. Cummings, on the other hand, I've noticed so many Cummings tractors do that stop and touch. Most of the other emissions trucks are like.
International got out of the truck, out of the engine business for that. They had a max force. I think they can still get it.
How long is that emissions warranty for?
So the emissions warranty, truck, gas, I do not. But most of them, you know, my truck is gonna have the same one, but I would buy one for my truck. For instance, my sweeper we bought, I bought it. they'll sell it to you, but most of them are like 2 or 3 years. That gets you over that heartache period. Yeah, you'll know what's going on by then.
Okay. Any other questions? EJ? Anything?
No,
Okay. Oh, I was just gonna mention, we need, a logbook. I know you probably already do that, but routine to spec maintenance on this vehicle, because we wanna keep this thing a long time, you
Yeah.
know. Please, I mean,
That's what we're doing with both the new trucks we're doing.
yeah,
We're within 24 to 3,000 miles of changing the oil because they sit idle more than they're actually on the road running. So we don't really go by mileage, we go by hours and days that we haven't done oil change.
mhm,
Just for that simple reason, because we've had that one truck, year and a half, we've got 7,000 miles on it. So if you would do it, you've only changed oil twice.
yeah,
So we've done changed on this thing like 6 times. But we do it based on
Okay.
length of time that we drive it, because I don't know if the Ram's got an hour meter or not on it, I know the Ford does. But we basically got it wrote down in our books, and within, I think it's 22 days, the cycle is what Ram recommends if the truck is just low mileage. 22 to 32.
okay. Yeah, it's important, because,
This does have an hour.
It does.
Okay.
Because that's exactly how you have to be. You can't change it on miles. Never put that in.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
it would be
time
all
sitting
gumpy.
there revving up.
3G, and that'll be the biggest part of your time.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So, what's, council think?
I make a motion that we purchase this truck and we, look at adding an emissions warranty with it.
Purchase the truck from West Virginia Tractor?
Correct.
Okay, have a motion from Teresa to, purchase the Freightliner, right, from, West Virginia Tractor with the added, warranty for the emissions. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second from BJ. Any other discussion before we vote? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I've got a PO here, Mike. I'll have to fill it out for you because it's just in case.
I trust you all. You all can just email it to me or however you want to do it.
Okay.
I'll give you my card. There is my email right there on the bottom. It's real small. You need
Okay.
a magnifying glass. There's my cell phone.
Okay.
He has it already. Call me at any time.
Okay. Well, I'll ask Ruth to
May I have one, please?
Absolutely.
fill this out a little bit
Yeah,
better
'cause
than I
I'm
could
over infrastructure.
probably.
Thank you, dear.
Go ahead and sign.
And I will find out exactly what we can get with regards to warranty, which it can be
Okay.
purchased immediately because the truck isn't even on the ground yet. So,
Okay.
Okay,
all right.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much for your time. I'm
Thank you.
sorry. My mouth just keeps going.
Oh,
but
Thank you.
honey,
Hey, I thought
I got you.
plenty.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
Conversations go on for 30 minutes sometimes.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Y'all take care.
Thanks. Next item on the agenda is the playground equipment update. We had a note, I had a note from Ruth. She checked on the equipment and she says it should be here in 2 weeks or less. However, the problem is installation.
Right.
Mr. Givens is the contractor that we had contacted initially to install that, and he's booked for at least the next 5 weeks, she says. So he's going to get with Mr. Nelson from Miracle Equipment and give us an exact price for the installation once he can look at the models, I guess, and estimate, how much time that would include, and then we'll have a better idea of what he's going to charge us. But looks like at least 5 weeks, unfortunately, even though we may have it sooner than that.
Where do you want to store it?
That's what my question was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I mean,
I can make a place down the lot. And the reason why I'm saying is because we're about to use the backhoe to unload it.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't put it just out in the middle of the field down there. 'Cause
absolutely not.
Yeah.
We can keep it in the gate though.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
Be a
needs to
good
be
idea.
professionally installed, you know,
Oh,
just
Oh, yeah.
simply for liability purposes and
And
there's,
it's made for rain, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
and, you know, cause there's certain ways that has to be put together, you know, to meet regulation. Yeah, it's not like you know, need just a few nuts and bolts and,
No.
no, you can't do that.
But even beyond that, unfortunately, there's a ground cover, of course, and then a border to retain the ground cover.
Right.
The border won't be in until October. It's not available till October, so we can get the ground cover, but not the border, and we can add that, Mr. Givens says, you know, later.
Oh, it
So
can
we
be
will,
added?
yeah. So we will be able to get the ground cover, put that on, and it may take a little maintenance, here and there to keep it, you know, from spreading. But hopefully not significantly, but
Is that something that y'all are looking at, putting rubber pellets around that playground set?
I know we can't put that padded stuff, they said we couldn't use that.
yeah, I'm not sure what it comprised of, really.
It's probably that tire stuff they use, that rubber.
Recycled tire.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rubber pellet stuff. I mean, I know it's a little expensive, but we get mulch on swing sets, and it's just not last.
Yeah.
We've had that tire stuff and it's still good, I mean, you know, if I read it better,
Yeah.
but, it's just old tires and they, you know,
They sell it at Fort Morgan, Hartsburg, somewhere up that way.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something. And you're not
oh,
gonna
we got
buy
it at Sam's years ago.
Well, I mean, you probably, did you have got a big space of it?
Oh, no, well, honey, we just get bags.
Oh, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I don't think we can buy it.
But I think that's the kind of stuff that's,
Composite,
Yeah.
tire composite.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
email Ruth sent out because of the size of it.
yeah.
It has to be either some sort of special processed wood or like a
Oh.
loose rubber
That's
fill in.
what-
Yeah,
That's what I was
was
just reading.
trying to see
Yeah,
because I thought, no, wait a
Yeah.
minute, Ruth sent us a.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so
So-
that tire, yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly
and
what
there's
we're
supposed to be like a plan sent to us by Mr. Givens to, for upkeep, so to speak, how to go about it. Yeah,
But that stuff's not the problem, it's the border around it that's
Yep.
on delay. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
Well, could
but,
we not, like, just put, like, something, you know, just like a makeshift, like a flower borders, you know,
Well,
and,
see, that was one thing that we kinda, when the insurance guy came in about the park.
Yeah.
Well, that's the reason why we tore up what we did, because the before we had around the edging, trip hazard. We had to take that out, is the only reason why we tore up the border around that stuff. So I don't know, if you got, is that the insurance guy saying the border, or?
no, it's just the, Miracle, equipment. I mean, I guess they have, you know, suggested border and ground cover.
Yeah,
And just me thinking out loud, or they may just take up the border around.
might
the
need to
border.
ask.
They wanna ask insurance to see how high it's gotta be, or low, or certain color, or just something, because I know they didn't like the landscaping timbers they had, they were too high,
yeah,
Yeah.
well,
too high.
I have a picture of one, if I can find it real quick, that was just installed. And theirs met all the codes that needed.
Okay.
And it more looked like, almost like it's almost like a rubber, black rubber, and it was high. And then all that was inside, so the kids actually had to step up in it. It was a safety, and it met all the codes, and I took a picture of it, cause I knew we would come with this, but I'm not seeing it all.
Because I knew that was one of the issues that the insurance had, trip hazard.
Well, if it's that tall, I mean, it's obvious, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna see it, yeah.
But when it's just like this.
Yeah.
But now they were talking about the basketball too, where the court was close to where that, playground equipment was.
Yeah.
That was a concern. Maybe move it back this way just a little bit more, get more footage between the basketball court and that, because they still, when they run down the court, they trip, fall, and get into that. I'm just giving y'all things that when they come to it, they wanna look at.
Or some flyaway ball hit a child.
Never know. I've seen crazy things.
Yeah, boys play a little rough.
Here's what's
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
it's pretty
okay,
tall,
yeah,
yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was just installed, and it met all the
Okay.
standards.
Did,
Yeah, and
Well-
that's what they had recommended. It's, and I took a picture of it because I knew we ordered it,
Yeah.
and I thought that might be what.
Oh, so that's what we ordered?
I mean, once we ordered the playground.
Oh,
equipment,
okay, I got
and I
you.
thought that would be a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably gonna be generally
Where was
what it
that
is.
at, Francis?
It's at a church up, and I couldn't tell you where, it was a little girl's birthday party. And I was asking the pastor about it, and he said that met the state code standards and everything, and they had it professionally installed.
So they probably have the rubber, is the stuff inside of it almost filled to the top?
It's almost filled to the top, and it was not rubber, it was a mulch.
Oh.
It was a wood mulch, because something to do with the height, if the child fell,
It would- it
the
would-
rubber did something, the mulch would catch it or something, but, yeah. And then Ruth sent that out about it had to be a special kind of mulch.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we can definitely check on that, but yeah, we'll just need to store it until we can get somebody to install it. I mean,
Okay.
we don't have any other option.
We'll keep it up by the fence.
Okay.
on the front. I'll cover it up with tarp. So you know where it's at. Keep it-
Okay. Yeah, I should.
It'll be a, something we, I don't think about.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Gives us a place to unload.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That saved some time. That's all I had. Does council have anything for good and welfare?
I had, somebody ask me, she's actually speech therapist up there, but she goes to, Frank's church.
Yeah,
Living
living
Faith.
faith.
Thank you. And the teens there have, they've been raising money and they're building this, blessings box. Where, you know, where they'll put like soap and like little food things in it, but anyway, where they're back there, it's not gonna be seen well, and she was asking if we would be willing to let them put it like down there by the rec, somewhere around in the rec area. And they would take care of it. I didn't know if that's something we can do, would do.
And what are they collecting?
No, they're not collecting. They,
It's a blessing, what
they,
they call
Oh,
blessing.
they collected money so they can build it.
Oh, okay.
Get the
I
material.
got you. Okay.
And then they're gonna keep it filled, like soap and toothbrush and
Oh,
stuff like
okay.
that,
I
and like
got you.
maybe a little bit of food. And they were asking if, because we're there on the back street, you know, and down there, if it was there, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if somebody, you know, cause parks usually got people if they went over there and got something, but,
Yeah, cause
and-
people can just go help themselves to whatever they feel like they need.
and, you know, other people can put stuff
Oh,
in it, but,
gotcha.
but I didn't know if that was something we could or would do.
Now, do we have a camera down there or something to try to make sure that it's not vandalized?
Not, yeah, we don't have any cameras down there, we need them.
It'd be nice if we can put it somewhere on McCorkle, but yet kind of be in the view of a camera. Just to, you know, just to try to keep down vandalism and
Why?
stuff. Or somebody just going and dumping out all the shampoo or blah, 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 blah. You know, I can see that happening. Well, you take it at your own risk because it's free, you're not paying for it. Yeah, and there's other communities that've got these things, and they even got like, community libraries and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You-
we got a
you
little
can-
library over there at
You can
school.
take a book, bring
Take
a
a book,
book
leave a
back,
book.
or, yeah, that kind of thing. So it's at your own risk, and it's at,
big
you know,
is it?
it's free, you just take what you want.
Don't you know how big it is?
Well, I don't know how big they're building theirs,
I
but,
don't know, I'm assuming it's probably gonna be close to one of those little, you know, with the little libraries, little lending libraries. There's one, I'm assuming it's gonna be about that size. I can get more information, or I can even
Yeah.
have Crystal come to the meeting, the special meeting. But like I said, I told her I would go ahead and mention it, cause I don't know if we can, or if we'd be willing to, that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
I mean, you know, cause every community, I mean, they can be any kind of size, and a lot of it just depends on what you think the need is and stuff. Cause I know some that even has great big huge ones that even has, you know,
Are they on,
supplies for babies.
on city property and stuff?
No, not really.
That's where.
See, I
that's-
don't know if it's
the
legal, but
rub.
it'd be nice if we could find a place that, you know,
That's the
it's in
rub.
shot of a camera.
Yeah, that's, cameras are still a problem.
Well, I
And the
understand that
internet,
too.
you know.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want, after they spent the money to pay, you know, and build it and stuff, somebody either tear it up or run all their donations on the inside, or, you know, I mean, I don't care about people coming and taking things. I mean, that's what the purpose of it is.
But where it's not ours and it's, I mean,
Yeah.
we might not legally, you know, it
Well-
might be an issue.
I'm not sure, but doesn't seem like it'd be a conflict, but what about the women's club, over here?
That's a
That
good
would be
They,
Well-
they would probably be
Well,
open to it.
we mentioned like up around in here and,
Yeah.
and the thing was is the cops. But I also mentioned maybe she could partner with the church, like First Baptist or one of the, you know, one of the ones down there.
Or
but-
Martin Christian Church in the lower end.
Yeah, so I'll just tell her to go that route.
Well,
Well,
we'll come to the next
or at
meeting.
least get some
Okay.
more information, it'll give us a
I mean, I
chance to
don't
ask
know.
Scott
Clear
too,
it with
but,
Scott.
but
Okay,
yeah.
I'll get more
Cause I mean,
information.
it'd be a good locate, cause a lot of people, especially families, you know, go
Mm-hmm.
through there, you know. But we just gotta check the legality, and like I said, my biggest concern is somebody abusing it,
Yeah.
especially after they, you know, it's an investment of people's time
Oh,
and
yeah.
money and church resources. I wouldn't want somebody to come in
Oh,
and
absolutely.
trash it.
Anyone else? Council?
Thank you to everybody for all the work on the night out event.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dealing with the rain and changing venues, 10 minutes before we started,
Yeah.
that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, the kids.
That was
had a
wild.
ball.
It really did, because
I
I was
think so.
talking to the Kona Ice guy leading up, and he was anticipating around maybe 50 cups, maybe a little more, and I think he got around 170.
He did.
So he did well.
Yeah.
And he signed
Oh,
up
yeah.
for Labor Day.
Yeah, I figured he'd be coming back.
Oh, I knew the
Maybe we'll
kids
just
would
use that
come.
Labor Day. We could even, because I thought we could even use it on that the Kid Day
The
thing.
Saturday, that's
Yeah.
what we thought, because I'm gonna buy pizzas for him.
Yeah, I thought the
Because
kid,
Carnival's not gonna be open, so there would be nothing there for him to eat.
during the day, yeah.
Oh, and we have an update with Ebenezer Chapel. Our ad has hit the paper, so we are starting to slowly hear from contractors. And so there will be a pre-bid meeting that we'll have to have, and then the actual bids will be opened at the September council meeting. And if everything's approved by the historic preservation people down there from the Culture Center. Hopefully we'll be having construction starting soon, so I'm real excited about that. And we have to have our roof and windows repaired by November the 30th, because all the paperwork and everything for the grant has to be in by December the 31st. Some of the optional things that we were going to cover off of the grant has to be done by next April, like installing the security system, fixing the floors, the pews, the door needs some repairs. If we do any kind of landscaping or do anything to the handrail, all of that can be completed by April. But the windows and the roof will have to be done by November the 30th. Also, too, last Sunday I attended the meeting with Create Your State, and BJ tried to join us until there was a lot of noise and stuff, and so I let him know that we were looking for vendors and things for Labor Day, so they are allowing me to put a post out on their page advertising for some artisans, so that may generate some things. And the mayor from New Martinsville was on the meeting. Her name's Sandy Hunt, and she informed us that New Martinsville is in Wetzel County, and they have had the most growth in tourism in the state for the last 4 years running. And so she invited me up to come take a road trip and kind of check out some of their digs. So I'm going to be doing that in the fall when I can go see all the pretty leaves and stuff. So hopefully that will bear some fruit and maybe possibly bring some ideas to come back and revitalize McCorkle Avenue. I think that's all I had at the moment.
I'm gonna put a ad in the paper, or at least some type of ad to get us some bids on this cooling situation, and see if anybody else can give us quotes on the reducting this room.
Yes.
And back in the back, because it's bad too. I think if Ben's correct, we need to get a couple more, on that, and then we need to act on it, because it's miserable for the people working back there for sure. So,
Absolutely.
but anyway, and hopefully have that ready, for a regular meeting if we can get people here to look
Look
at
it
it.
up.
That's
That's
all
the
right.
problem.
We're cooking. We're getting it
Yeah.
done. Rome wasn't built in a day,
Yeah,
but
it's
we're
true.
getting a lot done.
Anything else from council? Any public comment?
I wanna thank Louis Faith Christian, the church, and who all is volunteering for helping the street department, weed and their trash.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that dearly.
Yeah, I've seen him out working and stuff when me and the old hubby's been out golf carting and stuff.
Thank you so much, really.
Sounds good.
Once you get the truck, you're gonna have to come and let all the, like preschoolers and first graders, cause you know, trash trucks are the best thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
We do a whole thing about trash trucks. You don't understand.
We have a parade, it'll be decorated at Christmas. It'll be coming through, it'll be clean.
Oh, we're doing a Christmas parade.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be, hey, it may be the grand.
God, I hope so.
We'll have the grand marshal sitting in it.
Yeah.
And even in the worst case scenario, Sandy Hunt from New Martinsville, how they did all of their parades during COVID is, they had, like their floats and stuff, instead of like going down like McCorkle, like you normally do, those was stationary and the people could stay in their cars and drive and see all of the displays. So the people actually drove in the parade while the stuff was on the side, and they still threw out, you know, candy and all that kind of stuff. So this woman is pretty innovative. So we've had some good conversations. So I kind of, you know, I really like her style. But yeah, she said that's how you have a parade during COVID. So I said, okay.
That's how Whitesville did theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all right. Regardless, we can still have a Christmas parade. Yeah, that's it.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second.
We're adjourned.
Thank you for coming.
Y'all have a good one.
Mike, I want to shake some.
We're gonna start.
Yes, ma'am.
Start around.
Oh, yeah.
Talk to a couple people, probably help us out a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna widen that out.
Yeah.
You can actually see it when you're coming up the road, not really see it, just a part of it.
All the brush. And,
Once the weather
see your
starts
wife.
changing, we'll have,
well, good.
bear with us.
That's it.
We're gonna tighten up a lot,
She
so
said,
hopefully, it won't look